November 30th, 2013, Paul Walker's tragic death in a car crash shocked the world and left the Fast and Furious family devastated. But what if I told you that the song that would become his ultimate tribute was written by a struggling 23-year-old singer-songwriter who had never met Paul Walker? That it was created in just 10 minutes during Charlie Puth's second day in Los Angeles? And that the lyrics came from Puth's own heartbreak over losing a friend in a similar accident. This is the incredible story of how personal tragedy transformed into global healing and became the most watched music video in YouTube history. To understand how these legendary lyrics came to exist, we need to go back to that tragic day in November 2013. Paul Walker, at the height of his career and just 40 years old, died in a single-vehicle crash while attending a charity event for his organization, Reach Out Worldwide. The Fast and Furious franchise was in the middle of filming Furious 7. The cast and crew were not just colleagues, they were family. Vin Diesel, Dwayne Johnson, Michelle Rodriguez, and the entire crew were devastated. The question wasn't just how to finish the movie, it was how to honor Paul's memory. The song was commissioned for the soundtrack of the 2015 film Furious 7 as a tribute to Fast and Furious actor Paul Walker, who died in a single-vehicle crash on November 30th, 2013. But finding the right song, the right lyrics, to capture the depth of this loss would require something special. After the accident, there was a competition to write a song that would pay tribute to him. Among many contestants, singer-songwriter Charlie Puth won the contest, but Charlie's victory wasn't just about talent. It was about authenticity, born from his own painful experience. This time last year, 23-year-old Charlie Puth was just another struggling singer-songwriter searching for a hit. After becoming a viral sensation on YouTube and fostering an online following, Atlantic Records soon came calling. Puth wrote the song during a session with DJ Frank E that was set up by Atlantic during a sort of tryout week where the label flew Puth to Los Angeles to see if they wanted to sign him. He recalls being checked into a crappy hotel. This wasn't glamorous. This was a young artist fighting for his dreams. But Charlie brought something to that Los Angeles studio that no one expected: his own devastating loss. In writing the song, he said he was thinking of a friend who also died abruptly. Puth declined to provide too many details, but said it was also in a car accident, and that he felt his late friend, his presence in the studio that day, as he held the belief they could one day communicate again. See You Again was written in July of 2014 by Charlie Puth, Wiz Khalifa, and DJ Frank E. But the emotional core came from Charlie's personal experience with loss. He wasn't writing about Paul Walker specifically. He was writing about the universal pain of losing someone before you're ready to say goodbye. Joining efforts with DJ Frank E, Puth wrote the song under 10 minutes. Think about that. One of the most emotionally powerful songs in modern history was created in less time than it takes to order lunch. But this wasn't just speed. This was pure, unfiltered emotion, pouring out. Charlie had been carrying the pain of his friend's death, and suddenly he had a reason to transform that grief into something beautiful. Puth said that he was initially reluctant to let the film's soundtrack label, Atlantic Records, choose his vocals for the song. He knew this was special. This was personal. But with the major blockbuster level Fast and Furious had reached in mind, the label had other ideas for its soundtrack in terms of who they wanted to sing its powerful song's chorus. They sought out big-name artists instead. The lyrics Charlie crafted weren't just words, they were a conversation with the departed. They captured that desperate hope that somehow, somewhere, you'll be reunited with the people you've lost. The chorus became a promise, a prayer, and a plea all rolled into one. Puth and DJ Frank E were responsible for writing the bridge of the song. Khalifa was responsible for the composition of the rapping segments of the song. According to Puth, When he and DJ Frank E began composing the song, they contacted Wiz Khalifa, who agreed to collaborate with the two. The song was originally created by Charlie Puth, and then Khalifa was invited to add rap verses to the song. But this wasn't just a feature, this was alchemy. Wiz Khalifa brought something entirely different to the emotional foundation Charlie had created. While Charlie's chorus captured the raw emotion of loss and hope for reunion, Wiz's verses told the story of brotherhood, loyalty, and the celebration of a life well lived. Together, they created something that was both deeply personal and universally relatable. Charlie Puth and Wiz came into the cutting room, and Mike Karen and music supervisor Rachel Levy and Kevin Weaver kept pointing to scenes and commenting on what it needed. This was not people in the music business sending around emails saying, "Check this out." This was people in a creative room, crafting something to honor a fallen friend. The lyrics weren't just being written, they were being lived. Every word had to carry the weight of Paul Walker's memory, the Fast and Furious family's grief, and the hope that love transcends death. What made the collaboration so powerful was how both artists brought their authentic experiences to the song. Charlie's raw emotion about his own loss, Wiz's understanding of brotherhood and loyalty. Together they created lyrics that could speak for anyone who had ever lost someone too soon. When See You Again was released in 2015, it didn't just become a hit, it became a cultural moment that transcended music. The song topped charts in over 95 countries and became the most watched music video in YouTube history, with over 5 billion views. Puth tells Billboard that writing the song led to his label deal with Atlantic Records and publishing deal with Artist Publishing Group. "I wrote the song independently and then got to negotiate anything I wanted," he says with a laugh. But for Charlie, the real victory wasn't financial, it was emotional. The song's placement at the end of Furious 7, as Paul Walker's character Brian O'Connor drives away for the final time, created one of cinema's most powerful tribute moments. The lyrics that Charlie had written about his own friend suddenly became the world's goodbye to Paul Walker. But the real power of the lyrics was how they gave people language for their own grief. Suddenly, anyone who had lost someone had a song that captured their feelings. The regret, the love, the desperate hope that death isn't really the end. Part of the sentimental pull of See You Again might have stemmed from Puth's personal experience. He too had lost a friend to a car accident. But while the lyrics acknowledge loss, they also remain uplifting in their acclamation of the power of memory. The success of See You Again created a new template for tribute music. It proved that the most powerful memorials come not from generic sentiments, but from authentic personal experience transformed into universal truth. For Charlie Puth, the song launched not just his career, but his understanding of music's healing power. Every song he's written since carries some DNA of that original 10-minute miracle in the Los Angeles studio. See You Again proved that the most powerful lyrics didn't come from trying to write a hit, they come from trying to heal. Charlie Puth took his own grief, his own hope for reunion with a lost friend, and transformed it into a song that helped millions of people process their own losses. The story of See You Again reminds us that sometimes our deepest pain can become our greatest gift to others. What started as one young man, his conversation with a departed friend, became the world's anthem for love that transcends death. In the end, Charlie didn't just write a tribute to Paul Walker. He wrote a love letter to everyone we've lost and a promise that the bonds we forge in life are stronger than death itself. Have you ever experienced a loss that made you believe in eternal connections? How has music helped you process grief or celebrate memories? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories behind the songs that help us heal, remember, and hope.